Hello, friends, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Booking It with me, Johna. Yay, we're so excited. I haven't done a Booking It in such a long time, and I'm so excited for my next guest. Her name is Jackie Sonnenberg. Jackie, thank you. Thank you for
Hello.
coming in. Oh,
No, thank you.
so happy to have you here. Also, I just want to tell you that your hair is amazing.
Oh, thank you. You know
Like,
the outside has to reflect the inside.
there. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I had long hair, and then I remembered when I had long hair and the reason why I cut it. So,
Valid. Valid. I don't even know how I get this up in wigs, but I do it. It's a challenge in itself.
All right. Well, Jackie is an author for Four Horsemen Publications. She has also, I will read you her accolades. She wrote short stories for online magazines and contributed to the local newspaper while she was in high school, which is crazy because I could not imagine doing such a thing. She was a journalist for her area newspapers and published reference nonfiction books before breaking into her dark fantasy novels.
That
So,
is true.
I guess my first question is, how did you jump from newspapers to dark fantasy? Because that's a big jump.
It is yes and no, but like when you're doing a lot of writing in general, you kind of have to cover all the bases. And so like with journalism, I found various freelance gigs and things online. So that's how I found the book publishers. They're called Atlantic Publishing. So what they did was they kind of, I guess they advertised looking for writers to cover a variety of subjects. And so just someone that wanted to get some more publications under my belt and some more writing experience, I signed up for them. And they were just reference type, reference topics, reference types. It wasn't anything too interesting or even things within my field range, but it's a lot like journalism and it's a lot like writing a really long book report. You're there to do all the necessary research for it and interview all the case studies for it in order to produce the final product. So I just did that while I was still querying and submitting for fiction until I got it.
It's nice, nice. See, I don't know if I could just writing research papers in college was too much for me. I was like, this is terrible. How do people do this for a living? Because at one point in my life, I was like, I could totally be a journalist. And then I was like, that absolutely I couldn't. That's way too much work.
Yeah, it was a commitment, all right, but
Yeah.
it happened.
Hey, I commend the journalists because y'all be getting all of the good stuff and it just gives me more to read. So I commend all the journalists because I couldn't do it. I know that I couldn't do it. So the fact that y'all can do it is a 10 out of 10. I love it. So it looks like so your new book that's coming out is called The Lamb Was Sure to Go, right?
Yes, that's actually a re-release. But yes, it's coming out on Halloween.
Re-release. Okay. Yes, it will be released on Halloween of this year, 2025, as of date of recording. So first of all, your covers are so spooky.
Oh, thank you.
I was looking at it and I was like, I'm a little scared. Um,
Well, like I
and
like I said before with the hair, the outside has to reflect the inside. So we worked together on it diligently. I gave them ideas of the art department. We went back and forth. We had some concepts drawn up until we got to just that final look that I had to approve, and I did, and they did a real splendid job with it.
yes, they're amazing. They're very spooky. If I read spooky books, I would read these. I'm not a spooky book girly though. I try. I do have a friend who reads a lot of like scary thriller horror books. So like anytime I have like a thriller author on, I'm like, hey, here's a link to some books. You should read those. The author was really nice.
Um,
So what I know that the name of the series is Nursery Rhyme spelled backwards, but how do you actually pronounce it?
Semi Heroes Run.
Okay, okay, okay,
I had
okay.
to I had to get that down, and actually on the covers of the books, you actually have that title on there.
Hmm.
And I remember first edition, it wasn't backwards, but I had to actually make it backwards because people weren't getting the connection. And they would pick up a book, and I would tell them, "Oh, go hold it up to your mirror. You'll see it that way." But the whole concept is, of course, that it's nursery rhymes that are backwards, so to speak, or
Mhm.
twisted.
Yeah, it's just like what was that movie with the kid with the blocks where they spell out red rum, but it's murder backwards?
Shining,
The
The
Shining.
Shining.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it's giving
Yeah,
Shining.
it is very red room. It is very very like that.
Yeah, that's what I
It's like it in a way.
yeah, that's what I thought when I
Red
saw
room
it.
mask, yeah.
Yeah. So, what is The Lamb Was Sure to Go About? Please explain it to me.
Okay, so that one I'm basically paying homage to just the classic Antichrist theme. You know, you see it in The Omen, you see it in Rosemary's Baby, you see it in Little Evil. It's just a horror trope that I wanted to touch on that I thought would tie in very nicely to Mary Had a Little Lamb. Because I actually read an article about how someone was comparing Mary and the Lamb as a metaphor for Mary and Jesus. Now, with no religious affiliations here whatsoever, it was just simply an idea to just take it and go with it. So I made Mary the Antichrist child born, and the lamb is basically her evil pet that does all the nasty work for her. So the tagline for that is actually everything Mary commanded, the lamb was sure to do.
Ooh.
So he does all the dirty work for her. She commands him, so to speak. He takes orders from her, and she takes orders from something else. And I'm sure we could figure out what that entity is.
I would love to speculate, but I don't want to I don't want to the people who might watch this, I don't want to give them any fuel for their fire. So
I think we could figure that out.
yeah, 100%. So we got a murderous lamb on the loose,
Yep,
which
bad lammy.
if I didn't know it was supposed to be scary, I would kind of laugh at it. You know, just kind of like, oh, you know, there's just a lamb out killing people or whatever. Like, it's fine. It's just like a normal
It's
Tuesday
totally
or
normal.
whatever.
It's
Totally normal.
fine.
So your first book in the series is called My Soul to Keep.
Hmm.
Are these books connected at all, or are they standalones?
Yeah, they are. So they are standalone, but they are part of that same nursery rhyme collection.
Hmm.
So it's like they're part of it, but they're separate. So meaning people could pick up any title and read it on its own without having to worry about the others.
I love book series like that.
Yeah, you know, because it's like you're just reading something out of order. There is no order, but it's all part of the
Hmm.
same collection. So when you pick up another book in that collection, you already know what it's from. You can make that same like affiliation. So all of the books in the Dark Nursery Rhyme series are, of course, based off of nursery rhymes themselves.
Hmm.
So My Soul to Keep is based on the Lord's Prayer. So you know the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep.
Hmm.
Lamb Should Have Go, of course, is Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Hmm.
And the others that'll be coming out, Little Dog Laughed is based on Hey Diddle Diddle. It's a vampire story. It makes sense, I promise. And then Mice is based on Three Blind Mice, but I did something different with Mice that moving forward, I definitely need to do another one of these. Mice is a mashup with the Brothers Grimm Cinderella. So it's about the three blind mice and Cinderella. It's a story in one, in which the three blind mice act as soothsayers. So basically, they are giving her visions of the past, present, and future, and she bases all her decisions off of that. So there's elements of magic in there as well.
Ooh,
Those are the ones that are out. I do have ideas for others as well, but like just taking a nursery rhyme or classic tale, just even taking a simple concept or idea from it and writing the novels that will spawn from it. So very much reading between the lines with these.
I love it. I love it. It's just something like it's something that you like Mary, like it's just things that we've been thinking about as kids, like Mary had a little lamb, you know, now I lay me down to sleep. It's just like all these things that we've heard in our heads, and then you're just like, actually, you know what? Let's twist that and see where we can go with it. And I actually love that. I love the concept of flipping it on its head because it gives you a whole new perspective on what, you know, you've known your whole life. So that's pretty dope. I like that a lot. So it sounds like you have two books out, and it sounds like you have ideas for two more books. So are there going to be four total books in the series, or are you going to have like one of those series that just goes on forever.
Are you talking about the
The
Dark Nursery
nursery
Rhyme
rhymes.
collection? Yeah,
Yes.
like I said, they're standalones, so
Yeah.
that's really something I could just take and just keep going with it. There's
Mhm.
so many nursery rhymes and classic tales that to borrow from and learn from. Of course, going back to the whole mashup thing, that's something I can't wait to do. So it's like I'm giving myself more materials.
Ooh, that sounds fun. I can't wait till that one starts to come out because I want to talk. I'm gonna have to talk to you about it because
Okay,
that sounds like a super cool concept.
okay.
As a girl who loves the Disney princesses, Cinderella's not like my favorite princess, but like she definitely has like the OG like story, and everybody knows that the mice help Cinderella. So like that's kind of very interesting. I dig that idea a lot, actually. I'm pretty excited for that, actually.
We'll talk more once that one gets re-released.
Okay, cool. You gotta let me know. Hit my line. I'll be
Okay,
here.
okay.
Actually, you know what? This is how I know I'm old, and this is such a tangent, but like doing this, kids don't do this anymore.
No, that no one knows
They
what that is.
they do this now, and that really stresses me out. It makes me very upset. Because I'm always telling people, call me, and then I'm like,
What are you
nobody,
doing? Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
does this.
Like, just do this.
uh,
Everyone knows that, so
it's tragic. It's so tragic. But anyway,
got
that's
this.
that's neither here nor there. It just was something that I did, and now it makes me feel old, so that's fun. Mock Cobb Village. First of all, the cover is giving kind of Halloween Town.
That's exactly what it is. Here, let me hold this up. Oh, gotta let the screen not blur it so much. Can you
Ooh,
see it?
right there. Yep,
Okay.
I
Okay.
love it.
We can see it. Okay. Yeah, actually. So, I mean, Halloweeny, that's where
It
it's
is.
at. That's
I,
what's going down there. And it's actually very much about Halloween. Not necessarily that it takes place during Halloween, which it does,
mhm,
but more like it is about the origins of Halloween in disguise. I considered
gotcha.
it my own retellings. I touched on a lot of Celtic and Samhain traditions. And so what I did was I incorporated them into the story, but kind of just added my own twist. So we hear about the origins of Stingy Jack, which is the origins of the jack-o'-lantern and how that custom came to be, and trick-or-treating and dressing in Halloween costumes. But in here it's my own take on it. So for instance, the three main characters in this story are considered the world's first trick-or-treaters in this world.
Oh, okay.
So it's like customs and traditions and things that we're already familiar with, but you're kind of seeing them in a whole new light. So that's where the whole retelling comes to play. But while this is a Halloween-based story, I kind of want to peg it as just a dark fantasy though.
Hmm.
That way it could be enjoyed year round because in the story the monsters don't just come out on Halloween night. They come out every night because that's just where the town happens to be. The town
Hmm.
is in this very, very like low level, deep hollow bastion that is kind of on the barrier between the worlds. So that means every night things are going to come out. And every night the town has to go into lockdown. They go into curfew and they lock themselves away so they could hide from all the ghosts and the evil spirits and the demons and the cryptids and monsters that just, they're just passing through. They just come out. Hey, they're passing through. They're making mischief. They're gonna go in your garden and eat your crops. They're gonna haunt your houses. Yeah, they're gonna do all sorts of stuff in there. Now, of course, there's a time of the year where the veil is the thinnest, and that's when
Hmm.
everything comes out full force, full invasion. And here I refer to it as the Night of Passing. I,
Hmm.
I feel like I had to give it like a different name, but it's obvious everybody knows what it is,
Yeah.
you know? So there it is. It's like everything leading up to that point. It's like it's bad now, but just wait, it's gonna get worse. Whoops. It's like, uh-oh. But
It's
yeah, the
like,
town goes into curfew. So every night the mayor sounds the alarm. They hear chimes. And so they hear the first set of chimes, it's like a warning. It's like, get inside, and then the second chimes are just like, you better get in now.
hmm.
It's almost too late for you. Get in there now, because I thought I saw something. I thought I heard something.
Oof. Glad I don't live in this fictional town because I probably would have had a heart attack by now.
The thing is, the townspeople, it's not something new.
Mhm.
They know about it. So it's not like this happened all of a sudden. They know perfectly well where they are. They they they're okay with it. I wouldn't say they 100% accept it all the way. It's like, okay, fine. It's that time of night. We gotta go in, otherwise stuff's gonna kill us. What else is new? But a big central conflict is the town is kind of split up between people who think that they should go out and fight the monsters and people who think that they need to just continue to hide or have better ways of hiding. So there's some political differences there too, but they're well aware of where they live and they're well aware of what is going on. It's just a matter of, well, I mean, can we do anything about it? Are we going to do anything about it? Should we just, okay, whatever, you guys are going to come out at night and run around and eat stuff. That's fine. Kill all the rats and then go home. At the end of when the morning comes, they all leave and they go back to the underworld. So it's like, okay, let's see. I got a couple scratches in my tree. My fence is destroyed, but I'm okay. So they have that level of acceptance almost.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
It's fair.
Like it's just like it's just like one of those. It just seems like it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm fine. So like, why can't we just like? And it's just something that's like so ingrained in you that you like have to do. So like, it's just like, okay, like it's 8 o'clock, time to go in the house. Like just
Right.
okay,
It's
that's
just
fine.
it's a huge part of their town history and
Yeah.
their town traditions, which I actually touch on the prequel, Macabre History. So you get to see a little bit more about how that came to be and why some of the people in the town are so accepting of it.
Gotcha. So we've got Mock Cobb History, we've got Mock Cobb Village, #1, and the Mock Cobb Village series. Is there going to be a Mock Cobb Village 2?
Yes, there is.
Ooh.
Macabre Village 2 is called Macabre Rituals. And that was going to come out at some point next year. So the way the story goes is that it focuses on the three main characters. So you have Poe, and they're all like younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
So Poe is a 14-year-old girl who's got a mysterious past. She actually doesn't know much about her past, and she actually has a true identity that we don't really know about. We touch on it a little bit. We see some hints here and there that she might not be what she thinks she is or claims to be. So we're going to touch on that later.
Ooh.
Another main character is Bernadette, and she's a teenage witch, but she's not very good at magic. So she kind of flubs up and messes up and makes a couple bad decisions. And she's like the manifestation of teen angst in a witch. And she's got a bad temper and she just can't do anything right. So the second book is going to be about her. And the next character is Caleb. And he's like a terminally ill boy. So he died, but he came back. So he's fine. He's fine. He has a made up disease where his body keeps dying, but he's still alive. So I call it living corpse syndrome. So basically, he's kind of like a living zombie, like a former ghost. And so he dies. He goes to the underworld, but he's brought back. So he's the only person who has been to the underworld, and he's the only one that's seen it. So he's going to be a crucial part of the story. And then in the fourth book, we're going to go back to Poe, but we're going to see Poe in her true identity, in her true form.
Ooh. She's giving me a lot of breadcrumbs here, guys. Now I'm like,
A little bit, just a little bit, but it's her identity that's going to be one of the crucial turning points of the story. And it's, is she there to save the town or is she going to make things worse? And maybe a little bit of both happens. But Poe, Bernadette, and Caleb are the trick-or-treaters. So they're the ones that go out on Halloween night or on the night of passing, and they're out collecting candy. They're collecting candy because it's actually a crucial ingredient in the witch's potions and the witch's spells that they're going to use to try to get rid of the monsters.
I feel like I'm just gonna learn a lot reading the Mock Cop Village books because it sounds like a lot of it sounds like it's based in facts but turned
Hmm.
fictional. So I love when
Right.
I love learning about fun things and I love learning about Halloween, especially since Halloween is right around the corner.
It is.
Like literally so close. Do we have a release date or a time frame for Mock Cop Village 2?
For two, no, but
No? Okay.
Village, the first one actually came out very, very recently. It came out 2 days ago. Came out on the 13th.
Ah. Oh, okay, okay. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Man, you're just pumping these books out, huh?
I'm trying. I'm trying.
When you're writing, what do you do when you get stuck?
So a lot of authors will tell you this. A lot of people will say to just kind of back up and read what you've already written up until the point that you're stuck. And sometimes it helps to get the flow a little bit better to see
Hmm.
where the story is and what the characters are doing. Oftentimes, though, and as much as we hate to say this, it's like get up and walk away.
Hmm.
Just leave it for the time being. Don't feel forced to get something down on paper if you're not entirely sure where it's going yet. Because later you're gonna look back and read it and go, what is this? What was I thinking? I can't just put something down to put something down because that's not going to be effective or helpful for you in the long run. So sometimes it's just like, okay, well, what did I do up until this point? So it's like, okay, how about I start from here and just read what I've already written until I get to that point where I'm stuck, and then I'll go, oh, you know what? Because that happened, maybe this will happen. And then
Hmm.
this will happen leading up to the next point too. So like oftentimes it's in between points. Like you have this point that happened that's important. Then you have this one that doesn't happen for another 10 or 20 pages or so. You just got to find that filler and figure out what else is happening there. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a major plot point, but it has to flow. It has to
Hmm.
move the story along in the way the story is meant to move along. So if you have writer's block and you have no idea what that is, just walk away. You're not doing yourself a favor by staring at the blank screen because it'll drive you nuts. It's perfectly fine to just walk away and just think about it.
Hmm.
And sometimes the idea will just come to you when you least expect it.
That's fair. They usually come to me when I'm driving.
Yeah, driving is good, or you're out in public, or you're, standing
Hmm.
in line somewhere, or in the shower, or just like right before you fall asleep at night. That's the best. You're like, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Guess I'm not sleeping now.
Right.
Nope, not
Gotta
happening.
gotta get up and put that down on paper or I'll forget it.
Exactly.
Are you reading any books right now?
So yeah, right now actually I've discovered this new author I really like. Her name is Kingfisher, L. Kingfisher. She
I
writes
know.
a lot of dark fantasy. I
I
really
know.
like her style.
I know who that is.
Oh
I
yeah?
have to I like know who that is, but like I have to like see a book cover.
Okay, yeah. Because I really like dark fantasy and I really feel like that's where the direction of my writing is going. So I like things that are scary, but I like things that are imaginative at the same time. I like village horror, I like folklore, I like urban fantasy, I like
Hmm.
urban legends. I feel like macabre touches on that more than anything. And of course, when you have the nursery rhymes, that kind of touches on the dark fantasy elements of it too. But also, I got to have my monsters. I feel like
Yeah.
I really got to touch on all the things that go bump in the night, the things that lurk in the corners. And so my monsters are going to be there no matter what. But I
Yeah.
kind of like to do like this flow, this fluidity between them because I want it to be something that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's because I write books that I would like to read. So I wrote Macabre Village because I was like, I want something that touches on like village folklore, village horror,
Hmm.
but I want something that's like Halloween themed, Halloween related. And I had a hard time finding something that satisfied that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to write books that I would like to read. And in doing so, I'm going to basically gain my own readers.
As you should.
Yeah, it's like if you like this, you like this.
Yeah, that's fair. I love when authors do that. Like, hey, do you like this book and this book or this author and this author? Well, you'll love my book because, you know, these similarities. And I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely be downloading that onto Kindle Unlimited so I can read it 100%.
All right.
100%. Do you have any authors that you would recommend besides yourself for other people to read?
I would say Neil Shusterman. So he is a young adult author. Yeah, he's a young adult author. I really like his Skinjacker trilogy or his Skinjacker series. It may be more than maybe more than three. I'm not sure. But either way, he does that thing where he touches on little elements of horror here and there in like a young adult setting or a young adult genre, which I really like. The Skinjacker series, I think I like a lot because it's about dead kids.
Hmm.
And it's about dead kids in the afterlife forming their own like political system and like their own government and basically they live in dead places. So there's a little girl that in the afterlife she lives in one of the twin towers. And like
Oh,
some kids live in an old building that doesn't exist on Earth anymore, which I thought was a really clever touch.
yeah. Hmm. Okay. Have to have to look that up.
Yeah, I like him a lot, and I like him that he's pegged as young adult, and his books could be almost of any age range. I feel like that's something that I have in common with him, that a book can be of any age, and anybody could
Hmm.
enjoy it depending on like the style, the writing prose, and whatnot. So I've had a variety of people read my stuff. I've had 10-year-olds read my stuff. I've had teenagers. I've had adults. I've had older adults read it,
Hmm.
and they all enjoy it. And I said, I think that's the ultimate goal for everyone is to be as ageless as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I love um I read a lot, like not a lot of YA, but like that's a lie. I do read a lot of YA.
Me
I don't
too.
know why I lied just then. But like my niece, my oldest niece, she reads a little bit sometimes, and so like sometimes like if I see her and she has like a book, I'm like, "Ooh, what are you reading?" And then I'll like read the back of it, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll just go ahead and put that on my list of things that I need to read. That way, like
Yeah.
we can talk about it when I finish reading it." So like I don't know. I think what like, a lot of people, like a lot of adults like give other adults like a lot of like shit for reading YA and I'm like, but I mean like not that I don't love me a good smut book or some good
Mhm.
contemporary romance, but sometimes you just want to like live in the world with the angsty teens, you know?
Well, as millennials, we have just as much angst as teens, so there's
Yes.
that. But also, I think people can identify with them a little bit better because
Hmm.
it's a lot about like, finding yourself in a place or learning new things about yourself. And I think that's important to note that not all adults are done learning and done growing. Just
Yeah.
because you're an adult doesn't mean you figured yourself out 100%. I mean, you find yourself in a book, you find yourself in stories with characters going through similar things. You're just like, yeah, you know what? That's me. Or
Yeah.
like, I feel you, girl. That is me. I mean, Poe is going through an identity crisis. She doesn't know it at the time, but she's gonna figure out who she is,
Hmm.
and other characters kind of call her out on it and say, okay, what's up with you? And she just kind of backpedals, like, what are you talking about? I'm normal. And they're like, no, actually, you're not.
She's like,
Listen,
I'm just a normal girl. What are you talking
no, you're
about?
not. No, you're not. You're not normal at all.
So
But
what
I
get
think,
No, go ahead.
it's okay. But like, I think it's important to note and remember that more adults read young adult
Hmm.
because most of us have already been 13.
Yeah.
So you could read that, no problem, but not everyone has been, 25. So a younger audience is going to kind of miss that completely.
Yeah.
I think it's easier just to kind of, trickle down than it is to go up.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Um, since you were talking about Poe, what gave you the inspiration for her character?
So I definitely wanted someone that was gonna have like a different identity than what we see. I definitely want to
Hmm.
have someone that was going to develop over time. And she's someone that kind of came to me as I was working on my own costume stuff, because in the story with the Halloween traditions, Poe is someone who sort of invents the Halloween costumes for everyone. So Poe will go out at night. She likes to go out at night. She's kind of like a wanderer, so to speak. But when she goes out at night, she puts on like disguises. She puts on a
Hmm.
long like hooded robes and capes, and she made this long patchwork cloak of different animal furs and antlers, which I made, which I made,
Nice.
I made, I have, and I wear it when I wear her. So that's her disguise that later the townspeople will want to have if they go out at night to disguise themselves from the evil spirits and monsters that come out at night.
Oh.
And so I when I was thinking about the series, I had to have the main character, and I don't want to call her the Deus Ex Machina, but there she is, the one that's gonna, save the world or
Mhm,
destroy it. But more or less, it was someone that was going to be a major turning point for the story itself.
mhm,
So she is the one that will ultimately solve through trial and error the main issue with the town.
mhm,
And that comes from her true identity and how it ties in. So she needs to go to the town in order to find herself, so to speak, but also find out what her ties are to it.
mm. Ooh, do her ties have anything to do with Caleb being a walking corpse? No? Damn it.
No, but they're friends.
Damn it. I figured.
Not quite.
Yeah.
But
See,
let's just say she needs their help.
got you. Okay.
She needs their help. They have to work together. They all go out on Halloween night with something to gain and something to lose.
Hmm.
They all have their own reasons for wanting to find out about the veil being
Hmm.
torn and how to fix it.
Gotcha.
So Poe goes to the town because she answers an ad in the paper for an assistant to a monster hunter, and that is my character Rex. So Rex now lives in Macabre, and he's the esteemed monster creature hunter who was called to go there to kind of keep things under control and tame things a little bit there. He sets traps for the monsters, and what he does is he studies them.
Hmm.
He studies them and he sends the information on to this creature society of otherworldly investigators that he's a part of. So his job is to kind of just keep things steady, and he will hunt things and kill them if necessary, but mainly he's there to study them and to raise awareness, so to speak. So at one point it gets to be too much for him. So he has to put an ad in the paper looking for an assistant. Naturally, nobody in the town answers it. But from a couple towns over, far away, you get a 14-year-old girl who dresses in long dark robes and likes to run around at night that just goes and answers it in person and meets him. And she ends up in one of his traps by accident, and he mistakes her for a monster. But she's like, "No, I'm here. I came to answer your ad." And he's just like, "You did? Like, who are you? Or where did you come from?" But she becomes his assistant.
Mhm,
So Poe becomes that monster hunter's assistant, and they go out and they search for things. They look out for things that are caught in the traps and everything. And later, so Poe's goal is to find out with Rex why the veil has been torn, where the monsters are coming from, and everything. And Bernadette's goal. Bernadette is a witch. Of course,
ooh.
I mentioned that. So she's not good at magic. So she kind of feels like the pressure is put on her to figure out what is going on, for her to figure out a way to stop it via magic. But like I said, she's not very good at magic, and this is actually not a field that she's familiar with. So no pressure or anything, Bernie, but she's like, I gotta go and put it end this to myself. Maybe if I do that, if I'm the one that solves this with magic, then maybe I'll be a better witch.
Mm.
And then Caleb, well, I mean, Caleb did okay in the afterlife, and he wasn't expecting to come back.
Mm.
And it's troublesome for him to be alive in the body that he's in. He's bedridden most of the time. He takes a lot of medicine and, just kind of stares at the wall. And he gets visits from Poe and Bernadette. They sneak up to his room and they hang out. And that's like all he's got. I mean,
Oh.
eventually Caleb comes to terms with himself and gets better, of course. And the only really the only remedy is friendship and all that good stuff. If I could throw some wholesome stuff in there, I will, and
I
I
literally
have.
was about to say, how wholesome.
Come on, yeah. All right, I had to throw that in there for character development.
Hmm.
But Caleb wants to find that opening again so he could be like, peace out. I was way cooler as a ghost. If I could be honest.
He said, I miss being a ghost, guys.
Yeah, listen, his spiritual form, he did very well for himself. He found his inner strength. But then eventually he learns to turn his inner strength into his outer strength. So don't worry. Our boy gets out of bed. I promise.
I hope
There's
so.
no sad endings here at all.
You,
Everybody's got a happily ever after.
Caleb,
hang
we
on his
need you.
bedroom.
We need you, Caleb. You got to get out of bed.
That's all right. I'm not gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna forget my boy.
Can't forget our boys.
No,
We always need our token boy when there's a group of kids and there's two
yeah,
girls, there always needs to be the boy.
yeah, my girls are strong characters. He's gonna have his strength as well.
I love that. I love that. Healing through the power of friendship.
Well, I mean, if think about it, it's like if you're bedridden all the time, you're tired all the time, all you do is lay in bed. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not gonna feel so great. Get up, get up and go outside. That
Yeah.
was literally it.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. 100%. Yeah. I just came back from my vacation where like literally we were like out doing stuff every day and like the sun was shining and like I was just like, wow, I feel happier.
Got that vitamin D.
I was like, what's going on? I feel cured of something. I don't know what it is. I just feel happier. And then I got on the plane to come back home and I was like, I just really don't want to go back home. Please don't make me go back. It's
Aw.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, it'll get better. It'll get better. But anyway, so all that to say, yes, we do need friends and we do need outside. As much as some of us don't like outside, we do need it.
Yeah, I think it was an important part of just character development in itself because I had to tie the three of them together and, of course, tie them to the main central plot of the story itself. So you
Mm-hmm.
got to see how they went from, A to B to ultimately C and how they help each other out and what goes right and what goes wrong because things will go wrong, of course.
Yes, they're
Of
teenagers.
course,
They, of
they
course, will
do.
go wrong.
With young kids, hey, oops, this happened. Oops, this happened. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
But that's kind of why. So Caleb is 13
Hmm.
and Poe is 14 and Bernadette is 15.
Gotcha.
So I kind of wanted a nice little range of ages there because with trick or treating they would be younger. So that's why I made
Yeah.
them the age that I did. I couldn't make them any younger than that,
Yeah.
and I couldn't make them like older adults either
Yeah.
because it's because the trick or treating is such an important part of it. It would only fit in with that younger age group.
Yeah. That makes sense. I get that. Well, now I'm gonna go read this.
Well, I hope you do.
Because I'm very invested in these stories now because I need to know what basically what Poe's final form is.
You'll in rituals, it'll be revealed. You're gonna learn it along with Bernadette because she's the one that figures it out.
Ah, okay.
With the help of a little magic and some of it that goes right, Bernadette is gonna figure it out.
I love that.
Yep, she will. She's gonna be the first to know.
It's
It'll be
always
a doozy.
the besties that find out first.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot about Macabre Village just now, and honestly, that's great. I love that.
Cool.
Um, let's see. What else do I have on here? So if let's say we're doing, let's just do Mock Cop Village because there's more like set characters.
Mm.
Um, if you were going to make that into, let's say a movie trilogy, quartet, whatever you want, who would you want to have portraying your characters?
Um, well, it's funny because I did a lot of like video promotion
Mhm.
and I play Poe, so I would probably selfishly say, no, I want to be Poe.
Okay, cool.
Can I be honest?
Yeah, 100%. You can cast yourself in your own your own movie. It's your movie, of course you can.
Yeah, but what's so funny is like sometimes, you'll get a prompt somewhere that'll say if what actors would play your main characters and what celebrities and I literally just draw a blank. I just kind of sit there, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Make it animated. Then who would be the voice actor? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
seriously have no idea.
that's okay. I mean, honestly, like some authors that I asked are like, I don't know celebrities, so I have no idea.
I don't think it's something that like you could say off the top of your head unless you know. I
Hmm.
think it would be something that you would like have to think about a lot
Yeah,
or like I don't know, see auditions and then you know that way. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. I
Kind of like
I
casting for a show or something, then you would know if you had people audition and you're like, yes, that's the one right there. Or no, not that one. Or can I do it?
I always I think I told one person once because they like don't know like actors like now and like I barely know any actors now, but like I was like, okay, if we could travel back in time since they're teenagers, it's like if you could travel back in time and pick any teenage actor from whatever time period. We have so much money for this movie. That's what I say.
Oh yeah.
Unlimited budget.
Whoa.
Look, we got enough money to
Whoa.
time travel, Jackie, okay?
Yo. Yo.
Right?
Yes.
100%. So I was like, and for some reason, when you were talking about Caleb, I don't know why, but automatically, I'm sure you've seen Hocus Pocus, right?
Yes.
But the guy who plays the person version of Thackeray Binks,
Hmm.
that was who I thought of for Caleb, and I couldn't tell you why. I don't even know anything about Caleb, and I'm just like that guy who is, if for anybody who doesn't know, that guy, if you watch NCIS, is McGee from NCIS, in case anybody was wondering.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I loosely base Caleb off of Colin from Secret Garden.
Okay.
So you know the sickly boy who finds his inner strength.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Caleb. The power of love and friendship. He's healed. That's not a spoiler, by the way. That's an important part of it.
Yes,
Because
very
like
important.
I've had people ask me, do the main characters die? Are you gonna be like, other authors that just kill everybody off? I'm like,
How
no,
aggressive.
not really. I'm like, well, I mean, Caleb dies, and then they look at me, they're like, what? What? I'm like, no, no, it's fine. He comes back. And then they give me that look. What do you mean he comes back? I'm like, you're gonna find out.
It's just like an episode of Supernatural. You're like, Sam and Dean are dead. It's like, no, they're not.
Just
Just
kidding.
wait.
No, they're not.
Just they're coming right back. What are you they're
It's
here in the
all
next
good.
episode. Calm down. It's
Yeah.
it's fine. Ah, Supernatural. What a great show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
lot of cryptids and monsters in that one.
Oh yeah. No, I remember like starting to like watch it because one of my friends was super into it in college. And like I spent the summer just that was all I was doing all summer was watching Supernatural.
Yeah, 15 seasons.
Well, so this was
That's a
before we
doozy.
even got to season 15. So let's see. I was out of college by the time we got to 15. So I think we were on like 6 or 7, maybe, when I started watching it. So like it was like still like I would say early seasons. But man, I
Before
remember
cast or after cast?
it's after Cass. So because I think Cass came in
Like four.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I met Cass, and then there was like a couple of other seasons on Netflix. And then I think the season that was supposed to be airing was 7 or 8.
Hmm.
Can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, no, I just remember like being like it's honestly like a show that like because I've watched it so much, like I just turn it on in the background. Like if I can't find something to watch, like it's just one of those background shows that I'm just like, I don't actually need to watch this, like because I know what happens. But sometimes I find myself getting caught up in the episodes. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember this happening.
Well, like as I mean, I love Supernatural with the monster hunters because that's what I have too. I wanted to have
Hmm.
my own characters go after these beasts. Sometimes they have to fight them, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, yeah.
You never know. And I actually have like my own mostly fictional monsters in this, and I'm very very proud of them. I'm actually making some costumes of them too. And I
Ooh.
have an illustrator who drew some of them for me. So they're in the book.
Ooh.
Yes.
That
I don't know
sounds
if you
so
could see.
good. Those are spooky.
I don't know if I'm sorry if that's blurry. I don't know why it's maybe because my background is
Yeah,
blurred,
it's
but
because your background's blurred. That's I could see. Wow, that's those look
okay.
terrifying. They
Okay, sorry if they're too blurry. I don't know if you could see them though.
I saw them at one point. They are very scary looking. Is that a
Okay.
dragon?
This is a nether flyer.
Ah, okay.
Hold on. It's You know what? No. Oh, there goes kind of, yes.
Kind of.
Okay.
Ah,
I'm sorry if you can't see that well, but anyway, I
okay.
do have illustrations in the middle of the book of my monsters. And my illustrator is this really cool guy from Sweden. Hi,
All right.
Gustav, if you're watching.
Shout out to Gustav. He looks like
Hi,
he's a
buddy.
great drawer.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so awesome. That's honestly, that's so cool. I love when authors put like artists like renderings and stuff in their books, like
Hmm.
of their characters, because like I'll see the character as some type of way in my head, and then like if I can actually see a picture of them, I'm like, oh, okay. So then I can kind of like actually like visualize them, like how the author visualizes them, and I'm like, okay, this makes way more sense because I had this guy looking like something completely different.
Yeah, so I guess what I really wanted them to be more like was if the main characters saw them in a book. So like you're looking
Hmm.
at them too. So
Yeah.
like you're basically seeing the illustrations that these they see when they look things up at books. Like when Rex and Poe are hanging out at home and Rex has got these books open and then he flips to a page, he says, Poe, come here. This is that thing that we encountered the other night. And she'll look and she'll go, oh. And he'll be like, hey, have you ever seen this? And she'll go look and she'll go, no, what's that? Be like, we gotta be on the lookout for this thing. It's nasty. We gotta go find it and make sure it doesn't terrorize people. So that's kind of where that came from.
Just like this man and this like 14-year-old girl just like running around and chasing monsters.
It's 100% true. It's the whole opposites attract thing
Yeah,
that I love that I think is like hilarious when you think about it. So like they will stay out all night hunting stuff. They'll crash. They'll sleep until like 1 in the afternoon, and he'll make this big pot of coffee and all this food, all this bacon and toast and eggs and stuff, and they'll just eat like college. They'll eat like frat boys.
I love it.
I know it's fun, but it's like, homey too, because you got to see what they're like when they're not hunting. You got to
Yeah,
see them when they're like themselves and they're at home and they're chill and they bond pretty fast.
yeah,
They become like a adorable monster hunting little family.
I love that. It's
Oh,
very supernatural-esque, 100%. But you said like, because he's like an older guy and she's 14, and it just made me think of like when you're at work and you have your I saw this meme and it was like, man, work friendships are so crazy because you could be 20 something with like a 40-year-old best friend. And I was like,
yes,
that's that's exactly
that's
what it
true.
is. I was,
Yeah. So he kind of like adopts her. He sort of accidentally becomes like a father figure.
yeah.
And he's just kind of like, so I guess I have a kid now. Okay, I guess I have to clean up after myself now. And they take care of each other.
I love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
she eats all its food.
that's what children are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes, they will eat you out of house and home. 100%. I,
Oh.
I don't have any like human kids myself, but like I've got a lot of nieces and nephews. And like whenever they come over here, like I'll buy like a ton of food, and I'm just like, they leave, and I'm like, where did it go? Who who ate all my food? Like I'll have like snacks in here for me, and they'll be like,
Yeah,
oh auntie, can I have like a bowl of ice cream or can I have a bag of chips? And I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. And
sure.
then I like come home from work and like everything's gone.
It's gone.
I'm like, where's my stuff? Like, oh, we ate it.
They have big appetites.
Yeah, and they're all like teenagers and preteens, so they're like going through their growth spurts right now.
Right.
So I was like, you guys are lucky I love you
Oh,
because I'll fight all of you right now.
my tips.
All right, Jackie. One, two, last questions. One,
Okay.
what advice do you have for aspiring writers?
Okay, so I would say start small if you want to get into publications. So a lot of times I've actually told people to look for things like short stories. So sometimes publishers will put out, a call for anthologies, short stories. That's something that's easy for you to maybe work on if you want to start with something lighter as opposed to a full-length novel. It's, it's easier, it's quick, it's to the point. And a lot of times the anthology will have a specific theme. So in a way it'll help you out with an idea if you don't know what to do. So they'll make a posting, they'll say, "Hey, stories about we want historical fiction for this anthology." And then you can go, "Okay, well, maybe I could do a historical fiction, but you're thinking about that theme, you're writing it. and we submit it and see what happens. And if you get rejected on it, that's fine. You now have a short story that you could submit elsewhere.
Mhm.
Also, it's short story contests. Sometimes they'll post, short story contest for this and this and this, and you literally have nothing to lose by submitting to that or submitting to those. Because like I said, if you have a bunch of short pieces, that'll almost train you to go for the bigger stuff at later. But sometimes people like to put together anthologies of their own short stories.
Mhm.
So once you have your own collection, you may have a better chance with that. But yeah, start small. Start with short stories is what I like to tell people.
I'll tell you, I've talked to so many authors, and not one of them has ever said that.
Really? What
Really.
if what are other people saying?
It's just more like, your story is important. No one tells your story like you do. Like, your
Yeah.
story needs to be out there if you want to put it out there, blah, 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 stuff like that. But like, no one has ever been like, write short stories. Cause like me personally, I've started like so many like books. I'm like, this is gonna be a full 200-page novel. And I'm on page like 25. And I'm like, I'm done. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people think that they have a good idea for something, but they don't necessarily know the mechanics of getting it down to paper into that full length novel, like you said.
Mhm.
So that's why I suggest the short stories, because even if you are having a hard time with that one, you only have so much. You only have so much to go.
Yeah,
You could get it. You could. It's a smaller goal that you can accomplish as an aspiring writer versus a veteran one.
I love that. That's great advice. All right. And then last question, where can we find you on the socials?
You could find me in my website, which is www.jackiesonnenberg.com. My name, I'm sure it's written on there so you can see the spelling. My
Yeah.
Instagram is kind of clever. It's the first letters of my last name and then the B for books. So it's literally Sonnenbooks.
Sonnenbooks.
Sonnenbergs.
I
Yeah,
love it.
so it's like Sonnenberg books. I know. I don't know. I thought I was being clever with it.
It
I
is
just
clever.
I don't know. I thought it was clever at the time. Now I'm like, yeah, it works. Whatever. So that's my Instagram. And then of course, Facebook is just author Jackie Sonnenberg for my
Gotcha.
Facebook page.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So everyone listening, watching, most likely watching because I don't put this on anything audio type because that's just like way so much more work than I need it to be. Um, but for anybody watching, make sure you guys rate, review, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Booking It with Johna. And then make sure you go follow Jackie on all the socials. I will link her books and her website in the description. I will absolutely be getting a copy of Mock Cop Village because I need to have that cover on my shelf somewhere.
You could also get it through Four Horsemen themselves on their website.
Yes. So I will be
Hmm.
linking all of any way that you can get Jackie's book. It will be linked in the description. Jackie, thank you so much for being here and chatting with me. I
No,
had
thank
such a good
you.
time.
This was fun.
Hey, I'm glad you had a good time. Jackie, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Happy reading.